Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me. You may see a little different setup here today, and that's because I'm actually filming in my newly renovated master bathroom because my family is downstairs playing on the, what do you call it? They're playing Mario Kart on a new, what do you call those little things? The Nintendo Switch, that's what it's called. I'm not a gamer. The Nintendo Switch that my husband got for part of his recovery from his heart surgery. So my youngest daughter is playing with him, and rather than compete with the Nintendo noises and the shouts from the game, not the game itself, but the people playing the game, I figured I would come up here, and this is the best place upstairs for lighting. So if there's a little bit of an echo, I apologize, but I thought that I would catch you up on what I've been doing with my planning for the last few weeks since things have settled down a little bit with my husband and he's been home. Thank you so much, all of you who have reached out with well wishes and prayers and in concern for him. He's doing great and is on the road to recovery. It's a long recovery, but he's doing very, very well considering. So anyway, as you may notice, I'm back in the A6 rings. So the Stalogy, if you follow me on Instagram, you know the Stalogy didn't make it, but just a couple of days. And I was like, nope, this is not going to work. I don't have the patience to draw things out. And I just missed my rings. So I'm back in this little guy and absolutely loving this black leather, just the whole thing. So very happy with this. So let me just flip through and kind of show you where I'm at with things. I thought that I would just talk a little bit as I'm flipping through this about how I plan just in general. So in the very front, this page or this piece of plastic that I have here, I just keep it covered with Post-it notes. And I have paper clipped on the back of it, some of the notepad from Cocoa Daisy, and there's even more Post-it notes underneath it. And this is just kind of my catch-all. I think a lot of people call this like an inbox or something like that. And I like this because I can just flip to it right in the front and jot down, like this is a Home Depot shopping list of things we have left to do for a bathroom remodel. And then immediately behind that, in this kind of open working section, is a shopping list. So this is for BJ's, which is like Sam's or Costco that we have here locally. This is my menu plan for the next week, just to kind of help me remember the things I had picked out or thought about cooking. And as I was building that, I was working on my grocery list. And I'm one of those people that I lay out my grocery list in the order that my store is laid out. So, you know, the things in the bakery and deli are here. This is the produce. This is the dairy. I try to, anyway, I'm just kind of weird that way. My kids have finally learned that when they put things on my grocery list to put it in the place where it belongs. But it's, for the longest time, nobody was allowed to write on the grocery list because it would drive me crazy. Is anybody else like that? I don't like to be like 3/4 of the way down my list and see that there's something in the, you know, bakery that I've got to go all the way back across the store. And when the kids were little, this was the easiest way for me to keep my sanity, was to keep my list organized this way, because I have 2 children who love to talk. And when they were little and I had both of them in the buggy or trailing along beside me, it was all I could do to make it through my list and not forget things when it was written in the order of the store. But if it was just randomly written down, I would have never gotten the things I needed to get. So anyway, this front section is kind of my, you know, just working section. So the rest of it is just blank grid paper. And it's really just, you know, open it up, flip to it. If I'm at a doctor's appointment for my husband, or, you know, taking notes when I'm at a meeting at church or something like that, this is where everything would go. On one of these blank pages, and then I would go back later and file it wherever it belongs. So the first couple of pages are slit. That's because of the grocery list, so I can easily pull that out if I don't want to take my planner in the store. But the rest of these pages are not, so it's easy for me. So then, as I mentioned before, I kind of plan in a funnel. So long range stuff goes in this section here. And all this that's in yellow is the school calendar for my daughter's high school. So the rest of this year and the next school year, which she'll be a senior, it's hard to believe. I'm almost done with school. Isn't that funny? I'm saying I'm almost done because I feel like I've done high school 3 times now. Anyway, this is more of just big picture for me to look at. And then I have these Peanuts Planner Co. I have one here that's for, long range planning for other things. And then one that's just birthdays. So this one's just for family birthdays and friends. And then the month at a glance. So this is where the really, you start to come down in the funnel to the next level. And this is where I start blocking things out and color coding and planning things far in advance. So in here, you'll see I'm already starting to plan June and July stuff. And I won't be even having my June and July pages in my planner until the month occurs, but I can do anything I need to pre-plan here. Then flipping from there into the next section, this is where my weeklies are. And I just use this dashboard again to house some Post-it notes just for some random things. And I love this. I don't know if you can read it here, but it says, destroy the idea that you have to be constantly working or grinding in order to be successful. Embrace the concept that rest, recovery, and reflection are essential parts of the progress towards a successful and ultimately happy life. I need this every day, and that's why I put it here, because I need to remember that rest is okay and recovery is okay, and I don't always have to be pushing and driving because I'm just wired to be that way. And it's not a good way to be in terms of your health, mentally or physically. So anyway, let's just look at May and how that's been shaping up. So these are thank you notes for all the people who have blessed us and taken care of us in the last few weeks with my husband. And I'm just keeping track of these on a SM Plans page and just, checking them off as I send them. This is also a printable from SM Plans. These are my monthly tasks for May, which, to be quite honest, has just kind of gone out the window because I've been focused on taking care of my husband more than anything else. So I think a lot of this stuff will just get pushed into June, and that's okay with me. So these are my DIY fish pages, which I've mentioned in the past, but let me just talk about them in a little bit more detail and how I use them. So it's a similar type of layout to a Hobonichi Weeks. Let me flip to have a blank one, semi-blank one. So it looks like this with your days of the week here. And then across the top, you can see that she's got the days here, and you could use this part as a tracker if you wanted to. I don't, because I just don't choose to do that right now. I have in the past. But these are my absolute favorite because they're so flexible. You can make them however you want to be. I have, in the past, I have, had a meal plan down here. I've had work tasks and personal tasks, all different ways. And the beauty of this is that, you have that flexibility. The other thing that's really nice is compared to, a Hobonichi Weeks, which is the same type of setup, there's a lot more real estate on the page in my mind. And I like the grid size. This is a, I think 4 millimeter, maybe 5. It's bigger than what's on the Hobonichi. I know that for sure. But anyway, I draw a line here and I do it 5 squares over. And I've done it 5 squares over on an A5, on a personal size, on this A6, on a pocket, a B6. I mean, I've used this particular layout in just about every size she has. And I've always done 5 squares over. It just works for me. And what I put here are the things that we've eaten. And it just helps me when I'm looking back for a couple of reasons. One, because several of us in the family deal with GI issues. So it's nice to be able to look back and go, oh, we had a salad the other night. I wonder if it was something in the salad that upset your stomach. Or oh no, you went and had fried food or whatever. And the other thing is it just helps me in planning when I start to get stumped on what to cook or what to make. I can look back and see, oh, we haven't had such and such in several weeks. And it just helps me in planning and getting ideas. So that's what goes here. And then over here is purely time-based or appointments. So the only thing that goes on this side is stuff that's related to, you know, where we need to be, or somebody's going to be at our house or something like that. I color code, so pink is my daughter. This gold color is school related. My husband would be blue. Anything that's for me, I don't color code because then everything in my planner would be color. So I just leave mine plain, but I do color coding. And you can see it's not fancy, it's not stickered up, it's not pretty, it's just functional. And I've been trying really hard, especially with everything that's been going on in my life for the last month or so, to just get rid of any pressure on myself to do anything that would be Instagram worthy or whatever. It's more about just getting it out of my head and getting it on paper, and you know, scratching things out, moving things. You know, this got rescheduled, so I just crossed it out and moved it down here. I don't care. It's just more about keeping track of things, so I am where I need to be and do what I need to do. Over here, I kind of use a bullet journal style. So you can see these arrows. These are things that I didn't get done, and so I've forwarded it to the next week. The dot means it's in progress, and the checks means it's done. All of this was related to one project that I was working on, so I just put it, you know, the project here, and then indented and put all my tasks there so that I kind of had everything grouped. So this was the week of the 3rd, last week, which was a very hectic and crazy week. We had a lot going on. Selling one of our rental houses, so I had a lot of contractors doing work and things like that. So in addition to, you know, going back to work full time, back to work after my husband's surgery, my daughter was home for the week with online learning, and my husband was home, so it was very busy. This was this past week, and again, you can see it's not about pretty, it's about functional. So I kind of fell off the wagon here writing down our meals. I need to go back and do that. The other thing I've been doing is my daughter's on a block schedule this year, and so she's a junior, and so 2 days a week she goes to school until 2 o'clock, and 3 days a week she goes to school until 3:30, and then the next week it's 3 days a week until 2 o'clock and 2 days a week until 2. And we're 2 weeks away from the end of the school year, and I still can't figure out her schedule. So I sit down with her on the weekends, and we write down, is it 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock? And that's what this 2-3-2 is. And then I highlight it just so I remember, and that way I can block off my work calendar and Outlook so nobody schedules me for a meeting. And I can kind of plan any other activities around that because she's not driving yet, so I'm still having to pick her up. This page marker I just made myself out of some packaging and punched it and put some stickers on there. So again, keeping it simple. So this is next week, same kind of thing, you know, pink for me. This is highlighted just because it's important. And just moving through the rest of May. One of the things you'll notice is that I glued my pages together again this month. So the dailies for DIY fish are in here. I'm just not using them right now, so I just glued the pages together so that I can continue to use the weeklies that I loved. But I have found with so much going on that I wanted a more structured day, so I went back to these. These are from Les Minimal, and so they're not dated. You can date them yourself, which I really like because I can start them and stop them whenever. So when things settle down, when school's out, I probably won't need this, and I'll go back to the DIY fish dailies that are, you know, much more minimalist. But right now I just felt like I needed this. That's the beauty of rings. You can swap things up without interrupting your system. So I started using these just because it gave me a little bit more control or feeling of control and more order in terms of the page. I like this one because it has the top 3 priorities here at the top, as well as a to-do list and a place to write notes. And then your schedule here is in half-hour increments, which I always like on my schedules. Using a lot of Post-it notes, and again, just not even, like you can see, my stamping is off the page here. It's crooked. I don't care. I'm just all about being functional right now. One pen keeping it simple. I took all the extra stuff out. These are ancient Post-it notes from a Happy Planner kit that I had, and I'm trying to just use up what I've got. So yeah, that's what it looks like. My today marker, I think I got this from, I can't remember. Every time I get in this video, my mind goes blank as to where I got this, but I really like this. And again, I keep it covered in Post-it notes, and just, it's, you know, stuff that needs to move day to day through the week or until it's taken care of. I know it's right here and easy to access. My meal plans here. These were places that I was thinking about taking my mom before she went home. And I just, you know, have got these pages through the end of the month. Now you'll see I don't have these planned out. So I do my monthly as I go in long range. And then the weekly, I do these for the whole month. So I sat down at the beginning of May and wrote down everything I knew that was going to be going on. And then as the week goes on, I add stuff here as well as my running to-do list. I'll do this on Sunday, Saturday or Sunday, pulling things from the week before and moving it over here and adding any new stuff. The dailies, I literally do the night before or the afternoon before. So I didn't write down anything for Thursday until Wednesday was over. And then I moved anything that didn't get done from Wednesday over to Thursday. And I also would look at my to-do list here, look at my commitments in terms of appointments and things like that, as well as my work calendar, and decide, do I have the time to try to do more things? And you can see I had a lot of calls on Thursday. So I had an ambitious list here that didn't happen just because I was on the phone for work a lot. And so then on Friday, I moved some of it over, but a lot of it I just decided to wait until next week and not worry about it. So, and this is funny. I did Saturday on the wrong side when I stamped it, and Sunday, and then I stamped another Sunday. So I was probably multitasking when I did this. I don't remember, but doesn't matter. I'm not going to worry about it, especially not on the weekends. So I'll probably start looking at doing Monday's page tomorrow and figuring out, you know, what I need to focus on based on what I didn't get done last week and whatever else is new for the week. I've got these through the end of May, and then for June, I will see. My daughter will be out of school. My husband may be back to work. I don't know. And so it may be that at that point I can go back to the DIY fish pages and may not need so much detail, but I'll just play it by ear and do whatever I need to do, and I can flip-flop back and forth between the two. So that's a look at May, and just a little bit of an overview of how I use my planner in terms of, you know, planning week to week, day to day. I hope you enjoyed this, and I look forward to sharing more with you in the future. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave comments down below. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and think about subscribing to my channel. And I look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks, everybody. Bye.